Oh, hey gang, how are you doing? Jonathan here for Tailhunter Sportfishing, and it's time once again for the Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report covering all of the fishing action or lack thereof for our Tailhunter Sportfishing fleet in La Paz, Baja, Mexico. Wherever you are, hope you're doing well. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for spending time with us. And if you like what we've been doing all of these 30-something years, please do us a big favor. Give us a thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's jump right into it because, well, you know, once again, I'm not doing these every week. I try to put off every little day that I possibly can because, you know, even I get bored telling you the same thing, especially during the winter months when I've told you very often from about November to April, it's off season in La Paz. And there's a very good reason for that. It's because, well, the winds and the weather are just so erratic. It's very, very hard to predict what's going on. It's hard to predict what the conditions are going to be like out there. For the most part, I'd say probably 60% of the time, it's too windy, it's too rough. It's just not a good time to be out. It's a good time to be in La Paz. A lot of folks come down, a lot of the snowbirds are in town, and it's certainly a lot better than being in, say, North Dakota or New York or Canada or Alaska during these months, but not necessarily the best time to be out on the water because if the northern winds are blowing, which they often are, well, you know, it's not safe to be out there, and I've got to tell you, a good number of days, the port captain in La Paz shuts down the port completely to all boat traffic. That means not only fishing, snorkeling, whale sharks, kayaking, but that also means the commercial folks can't go in and out as well. That's how rough it gets. Even if it may look, if you're on the beach and it looks really, really calm sometimes in the bay, that does not necessarily mean that it's calm outside. It can be very, very treacherous once you get outside of the bay, especially if you're heading north towards Espiritu Santo Island. So this time of the year, we really don't encourage many people to go out. I do get reservation requests probably every day. I get a couple of requests, but I try to be real honest. I try to be very transparent with everyone, and I tell them, listen, here's the days you want to go out. Give me some heads up. If you're not coming until 3 or 4 weeks, check in with me maybe about a week before you come down. I can look at the extended weather forecast and at least give you a heads up, bird's eye extended forecast and what I think the weather's going to be like. If it's going to be really windy, maybe, hopefully there's another day and you're flexible that we can put you on and we can move those days around. If you're locked into one day and you tell me, listen, I want to go fishing on March 6th and March 6th looks like it's going to be blowing 20 miles an hour from the north, I'm just going to be real straight up and go, listen, I'd love the booking. I really know you want to fish. I know you're in town for just these couple of days. You're down from Wyoming and you really want to try fishing, but I got to be honest with you, it's no fun getting bounced around, getting wet, and especially a lot of folks come down this time of the year with their families. They got kids. They want to try fishing just one time, and I gotta say, it's no fun getting seasick either, nor is it fun for us to have you go out and either get canceled or get out on the water and getting blown back. So I try to be real honest with everyone, and that's pretty much the way it's been. The next couple of days after this, it's actually going to be maybe not as blustery as it has been. It's going to be some of the calmer days. I would say you probably could get out. That doesn't mean it's not going to be rough or bouncy, but I think you can fish for the next few days. But then the winds are going to come roaring back, blowing 15 to 20 miles an hour. So once again, if you're planning on coming down, give me a heads up, give me a couple of days, give me a week or 10 days so I can look at the extended forecast and give you some idea of if it's worth it to go out or not. I don't want you to have a bad time, and that's first and foremost. And certainly, I don't want to have a safety issue either. But anyway, so the fishing report that I have is, well, I got to be honest with you, we have not had anyone out in the last 2.5 weeks. I've had a couple of reservations, but we've had to cancel them because of the weather that came up. But the reports that I do have are coming from our friends who are commercial fishermen, and they certainly don't have an option of going out or not because they've got to feed their families. So the reports are coming from our friends who are commercial fishermen, or some of our local friends who are able to look at the weather and go, wow, it looks like we can get out for 6 or 7 hours, or the winds aren't going to blow for a few hours, or it looks like it's going to be one of those rare days when the winds aren't blowing. So that's where the reports are coming from. And what I'm being told is that, well, if the winds are blowing, it's pretty much inshore fishing. And there's some pretty good Cabria, Pargo, Sierra are biting. There's bonita, there's Jack Crevalle, there's snapper. There's a good bit of action inshore, so you don't have to go out very far if you can get out. The big problem, though, is that if the winds are blowing and the waters are rough, it is a little tough to get live bait. It's going to be hard to get over to the islands because you can't get across the channel to either Espiritu Santo or to Soralvo Island, so you've got to pick and choose and either use lures, frozen bait, or do the best you can with whatever live bait you can accumulate or purchase off someone. Our other friends who are some of the locals who have gone out a little bit have told me some crazy stuff. There are no yellowtail. They have not found yellowtail either at any of the islands as of the last 2.5 weeks. It's been a little rough, but some, again, very good Pargo and Cabria fishing. And one of our good friends, Jimmy, who went out the other day, told me they found some breezing big boy taxi cab yellowfin tuna at the north end of Soralvo Island. Jimmy tied into one and fought it for over 2 hours. They pulled him around and finally broke right at the fluorocarbon leader. So when I get back to town, I'm going to have to teach Jimmy how to tie knots. No, I'm just kidding. Jimmy's a very, very good fisherman. And if he fought a fish for 2.5 hours, that was a big boy. So there are some bigger fish out there if you can get out and if you get on top of one of these special spots. But other than that, mostly inshore fishing. Pargo, Cabria, snapper, Sierra, bonita, some Jack Crevalle, some smaller yellowtail, some rainbow runners, fish like that. So there is some action inshore. Right now, though, with the winds blowing, I don't recommend too many people going out. Anyway, that's going to be a quick wrap-up on what's going on. We are still on the road doing our Tailhunter Roadshow tour. So this coming week, we're going to be going to Salt Lake City to the Great Western Hunt and Conservation Show. Fantastic show. It's at the Salt Palace right downtown in Salt Lake City. Always enjoy this show. It's a huge show. Last year, I believe they had 50 to 60,000 people attend over 4 days. I think there's something like 700 vendors and exhibitors from all over the world. I think last year I heard there was something like 43 different countries had exhibitors there. All kinds of stuff for hunting, for fishing, camping, boating, outdoor stuff. It's a great show. If you're anywhere in the area, if you're anywhere in the nearby states, come on down, come and visit us, come and talk to us. Jill and I are going to be in the booth all 4 days. That's going to be February 13th through the 16th. Next week in Salt Lake City at the Western Hunt and Conservation Show. So that's going to be a quick wrap up for you. Hopefully I've got some better things to tell you next time, but thanks for spending time with us. You take care of each other. God bless. We'll talk to you next week. I'm Jonathan for the Mexican Minute.